that's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness! And Amy Wong finishes it!
Yeah, we're just as good as the men. We're better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the #1 highlight of the week.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to MLTT, Major League Table Tennis, the first ever professional American table tennis league. We're coming to you live from Seattle, Washington, USA, for week number 11. Are you guys ready for the action? All right, that's what I like to hear. Then let's welcome our officials for the first battle today. Coming in now, we've got Jerry Lee and Mei Wong. And our first warriors coming into battle right now, they stand 4th place in the West Division with 147 points, dangerously close to their opponents. A big round of applause for the Portland Paddlers! And their opponents standing at first place right now in the West Division by only 11 points in front of the 4th place team entering now. They're at the top of the food chain, but after this weekend, that could change. A warm welcome for the Texas Smash! And now that all of the warriors have entered the arena, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
Well, we are here for week 11 of Major League Table Tennis in Everett, Washington, 25 miles north of Seattle, and the home of the biggest building in the world, I found out, which is the Boeing Dreamliner factory. This is going to be a fantastic weekend. We're at the Angel of the Winds Arena for the first match between the Texas Smash and the Portland Paddlers. Had a pretty tight race on the West Coast. Only 11 points of separation between the top team, the Texas Smash, and the Portland Paddlers. They will, of course, be playing first tonight. It's going to be a pretty interesting match. Certainly a lot of exciting matches coming up. I'm Matt Hetherington. I'm joined by U.S. Olympian Sean O'Neill. And it's going to be a fantastic match. Of course, we have the first and currently last place team in the league. But Sean, so close on the West Coast in the point standings. Anyone could come out on top of this weekend.
Yeah, after Portland, it was so amazing for the Paddlers to get back in the mix. The first matchup with the #1 Texas Smash.
Yeah, I mean, the lineup that we've looked at so far has looked pretty impressive. So if we take a look at that match lineup, it's going to start out with Kasahara and Jiwei. That's a pretty fiery start. And what stands out to you? I mean, if you look at this lineup, Sean, if you think about where things are going to be important in the breakdown here.
Yeah, there's so many matches right now where it could go either way, but I'm looking at the mixed doubles match in match number 3. Portland's slight advantage, more matches between Cole and Rachel Sung, but Amy Wong, what a strong doubles player, now playing with Kasahara. I think anything can happen in that match.
Yeah, certainly some fireworks coming up here to start the night here at Angel of the Winds Arena. Of course, the competition format a little bit different to the usual professional league. There are 4 singles matches, 3 games to 11 each. 1 doubles match sandwiched in between them, also 3 games to 11, and that ends in the golden game, 1 game to 21 with players alternating And of course, it's the overall points that count, the golden game being worth 6 points. So first up here, it's going to be a bit of a showdown between Hiromitsu Kasahara and Jiwei Sha. Sean, you were in Portland. Maybe you can talk us through how incredible Jiwei was in that match.
He just brought all the action for the paddlers. He played on day 2 and 3. The first day he was unable to play because he had a 102-degree temperature. So they sat him out on Friday night, and then he came out just paddles blazing and just invigorated the entire fan base there. People were just stomping their feet, and he got the big W to stop I think it was 11-match losing streak to get the paddlers back into contention. And just, I mean, the highlights are still on YouTube if you want to go and see those. So right now, we'll see if Jiwei can keep that momentum going. But what a strong player with Hiromitsu Kasahara. Very fast. Look for him to play a lot of topspin up at the table. Jiwei is going to have to control the serve and serve return. That's really his specialty. When Jiwei can drop short the serve, he can get into his attack rather easily. But Kasahara so fast, a lot of power from the midcourt. It's really going to be one of those matches where I think whoever wins the first game is going to have a huge advantage going into game 2.
Now, of course, Kasahara and Jiwei played against each other in week 2. Kasahara won that match 3-0. And then they played again in Pleasanton with Kasahara winning 2-1. We'll see what Jiwei can do. Of course, these two teams right now, Texas have a 3-1 lead in matchup
Game 1.
showdowns.
Serve 0-0.
And you are going to hear Jiwei shot every point he gets. He's going to let his opponent know and his teammates know.
Kasahara was a little bit flat last time. He flew in straight from Japan to be here at the Major League Table Tennis match in Portland. So
Literally finished his match, was on an airplane within an hour flying across the Pacific, and then came over and did a great job.
1-2.
I think Portland has one phrase on their mind: playoffs. They want to get into the playoffs, so every game counts. While they might have been down 3-1 in the head-to-heads, Jiwei is going to want to do whatever he can to add points to Portland to get back into this run. Of course, the golden game is where you got 6 points on the line, so look for both teams just to get that early lead for the golden game.
we talked about on the East Coast in the last match how important this lead-up match was. It's not the last West Coast match. That one will be in Wichita, Kansas in April. But the positioning at the end of this is so important to get yourself within shot of those 2 playoff spaces. I mean, okay, here on the West Coast there's a little bit less ground to cover, but this second to last match certainly very, very important. You can see the dates there. Of course, we're here in Everett, Washington for this
3-4.
third week in February. March will be a big one in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, at Rider University. That'll be the last East Coast match, and then Wichita, Kansas, April 5th to 7th, and the championship playoff at the end of April in Chicago.
And you can see Kasahara just very smart, getting his forehand into play. Jiwei had the upper hand, but right there, Kasahara steps around Jiwei, unable to fade that wide forehand on the final shot that goes wide.
Jiwei's like a contortionist out there.
Yeah, he wants to keep his forehand going. He has an excellent backhand, but once he gets off the table, in order to keep the pressure on, he will go for the forehand side. And there are a lot of those easy points for Jiwei, whether it's on the serve return. That's where he needs to score. The longer the rally, the favor goes over to Texas.
Sahara misses the lob.
5-6.
Jiwei just taking his time, keeping it on the backhand side. He doesn't want to see Kazuhara come in with a forehand, because that's what will happen. Any balls that are a pop-up, a little bit too high on the serve return, Kazuhara will just take it for the winner.
Kazuhara currently 11th on the Major League Table Tennis standings. He's 25 and 11 in singles. That's almost 70% win record. And an even split, 45 and 45. Won and lost points in the Golden Game.
Again, Jiwei
6,
fighting
7.
to get that opening forehand loop into play. Great misdirection over the table.
7.
Pretty even battle here, point for point so far in the first game.
And there's a heavy opening.
8, 7.
Nice backhand topspin by Kazuhara. Oh, lucky break there.
8, 8.
If the score goes 10-10, we will just play 1 point, not using the traditional deuce scoring. Oh, that's just so much power by Kazuhara, just setting himself up, working the point. Jiwei stuck on just blocking the ball on the table. Great misdirection, and then boom, right out to the forehand side. Big point for Portland right now. Jiwei got a little bit of a break there. That ball caught the edge of his paddle, but still landed. We are 2 points away from a golden point.
Good setup off the serve there from Kazuhara.
Matt, it almost looked like on that serve it went a little bit longer than Jiwei shot, and when he tried to keep it short, just popped it up. I know Jiwei's looking for the short return, but if that ball comes off the end of the table, he needs to attack it.
Well, good call from you, but
11-9.
not able to execute.
Game 2.
Kiramitsu
Smash.
Kazuhara takes the first game 11-9, sealing the first point for Texas. Smash. So Kazuhara puts himself in a good position here, winning the first game. It was pretty close, Sean. Very point for point, even throughout the first game. It feels like Kazuhara's quite comfortable with the pace, just kind of easing into the rally and slowly building it until he can find space to play with more power.
Yeah, I definitely felt that he wasn't over-forcing it or overplaying, just kind of letting the
0-0.
action come to him. Ji-Wei Shaw really needs to make something happen. If he just continues at the same pace, Kazuhara is going to have no difficulty dictating and especially getting his forehand into play. He's able to hit a number of winners. The serve return needs to be a little tighter from Ji-Wei, which has really been his strength throughout. And there he's just, it's like he's rushing the ball. Needs to take his time. And that's the backhand that I've kept asking Ji-Wei every time I speak with him. When are you going to start pulling that out? Because it is such a beautiful shot. See him stepping around his backhand to use the forehand in those counter-looping rallies, and backhand strong enough to score.
Yeah, and it's also very risky as well, you know, to have to step around that much. And Kazuhara knows. Like, he's bending the ball into that kind of elbow area. I think we've seen almost any time that Ji-Wei's lost the point from the step around, he's always been just
super jammed.
Really contorted, yeah.
Oh, that's a much better play there.
The interesting thing I was going to mention is you can just see behind Ji-Wei there an iPad on a stand with a Texas Smash t-shirt on. It's unfortunately Coach Darryl couldn't be with the team this weekend, but he's here digitally. So he's watching everything and on the bench, still trying to give his team the best guidance he can.
The table tennis has gone high tech when the coach is able to use FaceTime. And
yeah, you're going to get a run for your money for the Doc Councilman Award, Sean.
Yeah, definitely with the ability to watch in real time with the headset of Darryl Tsao, being able to communicate any tips or to call timeouts all the way from Germany.
Ji-Wei making some progress here, opening up the lead to 5-3.
And Ji-Wei has always played very smart positionally, not going for too much, but forcing the opponent to earn their points. Challenges that Kazuhara is so strong, and there we can see a...
There is this weekend's Coach Jorg. Well, Kazuhara gets caught in the body there.
After, I guess, 3 net balls in a row. 1, 2, maybe it was just 2, but Ji-Wei finally causing the jam in the middle of the table for some separation here with the serve and a 6-4 lead. Oh, that's so strong. Kazuhara's forehand, both cross court and down the line.
Gets so much acceleration and such a compact stroke on the forehand.
Ji-Wei winning the backhand-to-backhand battle there. Getting the teammates Cole and Tyrese Knight to stand up, show their appreciation for a nice backhand. But it's these points right here, Matt, that Ji-Wei loses this game. That's 2 more points of separation between the Texas Smash and Paddlers. So Ji-Wei, again, strong backhand-to-backhand play. A little closer to the table. Kazuhara backing up.
See there on the side, in the bottom corner, Texas Smash currently leading the West Division with 159 total points. They surged, really, made a huge comeback to take the top spot from the bottom of the table. And the Portland paddlers currently at the bottom will be hoping to do the same.
7-9.
Kazahara landing the
8,
forehand.
9.
Very strong play. Oh, and once again, serving deeper,
9-9.
taking the short drop shot away from Jiwei. Jiwei saying to himself, I got to loop that ball, which is absolutely correct. He's not going to be able to push a heavy side spin, top spin ball short and low.
Oh, what a shot down the line from Jiwei Shah.
9.
Christian Miliros loves that one.
That was just perfectly timed. Game point to even up this match.
And a quick counter from
11-9.
Jiwei seals it. 11-9 going back the other way. The match is tied 1 game each. Will be decided in the 3rd game between Kasahara and Shah here in the first match of this first team tie of week 11 of MLTT. It comes down to this 3rd game to decide who has the lead coming out of this first match between Portland Paddlers Jiwei Shah and Texas Smashers Hiramitsu Kasahara.
Game 3.
These individual matches are incredibly important for Portland to get the upper hand because Texas is the only team in the West Division that doesn't have a negative singles record. They're even at 96 and 96.
0-1.
And that's mainly down to the strong results from the East Division in the cross back in December.
That.
Yeah, Portland took
0-1.
a severe beating
Yeah.
in Rock Hill.
Really? Yeah.
Where in one of the matches against the Gold Rush of Carolina, Jiwei Shah took a single game in a 20-1 loss. So
That.
only
0-1.
upward is the way to go after one of those, and
Right.
you're just trying to climb back in and not allow Texas to extend the lead. And we're almost in a quarterfinal, semifinals mindset with
2-0.
Wichita being the final leg of the Western Conference season. And that's exactly what Jiwei Shah would love to do, is return the serve short, get a spin in that's low, force Kasahara to overplay. Great rally by both players.
1-3.
Jiwei started to snap through that forehand counter better. I feel like he just has to keep that pressure on the backhand. Even if it's not going all out, just more than a passive block.
Yeah, if he needs to keep it nice and deep and make sure that he's
1-3.
going through the ball and not just putting his paddle behind it to keep it in play. Again, it's those kind of points that Ji-Wei forces Kazuhara to just miss by playing a little bit too fast, a little bit too spinny. Because if Kazuhara sets up, there's no way Ji-Wei can block it. He can just power through cross court or down the line. Ji-Wei really can't track where he's going.
Yeah, as you can see in the replay, as soon as the block is kind of passive and not active, Kazuhara gets in.
And I will say that Kazuhara is mixing up the depth of his serves a lot more. There's a deep one and just caught Ji-Wei.
5-2.
Players will switch ends. It's 5-2 for Kazuhara in this third and somewhat decisive game between these two players. Coming up next in the second singles match, it's Nishant Labaka against Isak Wheeler. Nishant coming in as a late replacement for David Macbeth, who is expecting a child. So not able to be out here in Everett this weekend, but certainly a very good reason not to be here.
And of course, as we've talked before about the Fantasy League, I had to change my lineup because of course I had David.
Yep.
And we got word from Fantasy League that one of your players would not be there. So definitely wish him and his wife.
We haven't heard anything of the specifics of Evan's lineup yet. So we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't get the note and he had Macbeth. So we'll get a little slight edge there.
He's on top of things. He knows things.
Oh, that's the third serve
7-4.
that Kazuhara has just loaded up, more long than half long. And Ji-Wei just pops it right off the end. And that's a much better play. However, jammed in the backhand.
Yeah, it's interesting to see these kind of repeating sequences from Ji-Wei, trying to drop one short, realizing it's half long, making a great half long opening on the next one.
Oh, that was a very strong, aggressive backhand down the line by Ji-Wei. It's almost like when his back is against the wall, he goes with a strong offense, and until that happens, he likes to keep the ball in play.
Yeah, good example right there.
What a great combination there. Again, no hesitation. After the strong opening, turns the corner, plays the ball strong down the line. Wow, wow. He needed that point. And that's going to send a question mark over to Kazuhara. What type of serve to do next? Because it's the first time Ji-Wei has jumped on the deep serve.
You can see the look on Ji-Wei's face thinking, man, needed that one to come down after hitting the net. Kazuhara holds a 2-point lead here. Finish line is in sight for both players.
Good point.
8-9.
One more serve for Ji-Wei to try to tie this up. We've had a number of 9s on the scoreboard so far. And he gets the job done with a deep serve. Quick third ball attack, step around.
Now the pressure really ramps up on Kazuhara's serve game. Is he going to be able to afford to serve half long here? Keeps it short and
10-9.
gets the pop-up that he was looking for.
This is a huge point for these two teams.
I think that short kind of heavier side spin variation is what he's going to have to try and rely on again here. And he goes backspin. Ji-Wei puts it in the bottom of the net. And Hiromitsu Kazuhara with a 2-1 win over Ji-Wei Sha, and Texas Smash take the lead after the first game.
What's your name, sir? That's an amazing name. That's all I have to say. Take care. No, I don't know where you're from. And your hair looks so good. You smell wonderful. Okay, anything
Well,
you're
we're going to have a
curious
quick
about that you've been
chat
watching so far?
in a moment here with Hiromitsu Kasahara. Congratulations on getting that first win for the Texas Smash.
Thank you.
I think the first thing we have to ask you is, do you feel more well-rested this time than in Portland? I know last time you had to fly straight from Japan.
Yeah.
How do you feel now this weekend coming into Seattle?
I come to early this time, 1 week ago, to San Francisco in AAA training, but in 2 weeks ago I was sick, so 10 days no practice, so my condition is not so good, but I recovered today, so
Perfect timing.
yeah.
So in the match,
Yeah.
how much attention were you giving to moving this distance on your serve? It seemed like you served some short,
Yeah.
but also served a little bit longer
Yeah, yeah.
to take away his short return. What were you thinking from a tactical of your serve?
He every time try to shot, hard shot, so his shot is so too much spin. So I changed to long shot and change placement, change something. So I try to his shot is more difficulty. So I try this.
Well, it worked really well for you. Congratulations on getting the first one. We'll see you back in the Golden Game.
Thank you.
Great job.
A great start for the Texas Smash here. Top of the table. They want to keep that momentum going.
And couldn't be closer with
All
11-9,
games.
9-11, 11-9, unless it was 3 golden games. So this is going to be such an interesting matchup with Isak Vila Ortiz. Loves to back up. And with Nishant Labaka, he wants to stay up. So expect a lot of long rallies to see really who can control the tempo and who can control the table, because both these players are so aggressive. Big forehands from both. Serve will come into factor, but I'm really looking forward to see if Nishant can get the ball through Vila, who will back up and put a lot of pressure on the ball.
Yeah, now, actually, as far as I remember, in the cross division, these two played each other. At the time, obviously, Nishant's coming from the draft pool, but during the cross division, he was playing for Princeton, and they played during that, and as far as I recall, Nishant won the match fairly decisively.
And that was one of those matches, I'm almost going to say a breakout match, where he sent a message to all the coaches that, hey, if you need somebody to come in and fill in,
Yeah, I'm the guy.
I can not only get a single game, I can take the match.
Yeah.
And he just did an outstanding job.
Yeah,
Rock
you really
Hill.
can't put a price on a good impression when it comes to being a draft pool player.
Especially when you're filling in for a person who's absent and you're going to take a 3-0 loss and then you twist that around and get a 2-1 win. But no, it was quite exciting to see Nishant do so well, and very aggressive play. He's got pimpled surface on his forehand, so he's going to like to smash a lot. Backhand, he'll play a little bit more control. But Vila has had some great play as well, especially in the Bay Area, where he beat Amy Wong in a male-female head-to-head match
0-0.
with a number of amazing points from the backcourt. And just look for this combo.
Yeah,
0-1.
Nishant's going to fight to get that forehand in and just smash through the spin.
actually him and his brother Sushant, they're both short pips players. Nishant was short on the forehand and Sushant was playing on the backhand. Nishant, very aggressive. He's picked up some incredible wins in the US tournaments. I mean, I know in the team competition a couple of years ago, he actually beat Lu Juan really convincingly. And I don't think she's actually played since. So
Get a
Put
notch to knock somebody out of the sport.
put a US national champion and into retirement.
And There's the combination right there. Sometimes it'll be a controlled
2,
opening,
3.
but it's to set up the quick forehand smash. Again, the placement is key when Nishant's smashing. He wants to go as much as possible into the middle of that transfer spot for a player to play their forehand and backhand. He doesn't want to necessarily just go to the wings or outside their body.
I think one thing you might not be aware of that might factor into this as well is that Isak's actually based at Liliup's club right now. So the odds of these two playing together frequently is probably quite high in the last couple of months. So it'll be interesting to delve into that in the post-match interview and find out whether that has an impact or...
Oh, that's a nice service pattern there by Vila. With a little reverse pendulum and then getting that forehand in. Little inside out to the backhand side. Vila will want to stay away from those forehand pips.
It's the easy put away there off the back of that net.
2, 7.
I was talking to the Paddlers coach, Christian Lillaros, and he was saying that recently they've really upped Vila's attack to go more forward and not just spin the ball up on the table, but to put pressure on it, especially from the backhand side.
8, 2.
One of the cool things about Major League Table Tennis is that when the coaches have a chance to work with the players, whether it's a couple days before the match, and these are some nice shots right here. Big forehand play
9,
by
2.
Vila. But to get some additional perspectives from various coaches, we've got some real amazing coaches here at MLTT, bringing in a wealth of experience and knowledge from Europe to South America, to China, to Canada, and everywhere in between, Germany.
Let 2, 10.
Wow.
First game in the books, 11-2, a decisive win for Isak Vila for the Portland Paddlers. They definitely need this right now. Certainly got a match on our hands here. Vila 11-2 opening game.
Just stormed out and didn't let Nishant get any forehands going. I think we saw 2, and that's where he got his 2 points.
Yeah, I think he's recognized really well that if you put a lot of pressure on the first forehand opening, it's a little bit on the softer side. One of the difficulties of playing with short pips, you either have to drive through it or you have to kind of lift it slow. And I think Vila really picked up well on those counter-attacking opportunities.
Game 2.
But I did check back at the cross-division results, and Nishant Labaka won that match 3-0 when he came up against Willow Ortiz playing for the Princeton Revolution. Right now, pretty slow start. So there's that opportunity.
1-1.
See that kind of slower, floaty ball from the short pips forehand of Labaka. He just kind of lifts the ball up. Big attacking opportunity for Isak Vila, but makes an unforced error.
1-2.
The nice thing about when you play a pips out player, when they're on, they're so difficult to stop. but at the same time, when they're off, you really don't have to do too much to put pressure on them. That's a nice backhand by Labaka down the line. And if his forehand isn't working, Labaka needs to use that backhand to score. He can't just rely on one side of the paddle.
Again, struggling with that opening against backspin. I think he's just a little bit locked up to get the acceleration that he needs. He doesn't have that kind of loose suppleness in his arms.
It's not really exploding through the ball, and he probably needs to be a couple inches closer to the table. But he is tall, so that's a weak spot for anyone. Go tall, jam him into the body, close to the table. But we're tied at 3-all, so a good set of services here. Labaka can right the ship, get back into the driver's seat. Oh, and that was a great loop by Vila. Off of a quality smash. Not an easy shot to execute.
I think he's managed his distance from the table really well to be able to handle that kind of firepower.
And he is I'm talking about Vila now, such a solid athlete. You can just see he's going to be delivering a lot of spin, a lot of power. Look at that. A little bit like teammate Ji Wei Sha, stepping on the backhand quickly, redirecting. Big points right here on Vila's serve to create some space.
This is his third appearance, I believe.
What a change from the last time they played. 3-0 for the Revolution.
Yeah. Yeah, Isaac Villa currently 47th on the Major League Table Tennis standings. He's 9 and 12 in singles, so if he can take this 3-0, he'll even his record out there.
And more importantly, reduce the distance between the smash and the paddlers.
Nishant Labaka, obviously a free agent, 7 and 8 in singles, which is certainly the top record amongst free agents. So he's been I would say, second favorite probably to Sonura Silva, who moved up from free agency into a team spot for the Bay Area Blasters.
Again, starting with the Revolution. I mean, Revolution know how to pick. And that's a good combination right there. But Vila from the backcourt, we've seen it time and time again.
So good at these kind of shots.
So much power.
Right now, the Portland Paddlers player from the Dominican Republic seems to be tactically well on top of this match.
Not having any difficulty with the change of spin with the pips out play by Nishant Labaka. Vila really having his way. Better opening on that one by Nishant.
Yeah, I mean, you need some speed or some rotation. You can't afford to have a slow, empty opening against backspin. It makes for easy picking for players in this league, and their forehand counters are, you know, there are not many players that are going to let that slip past. Marcus has been doing well with the serve receive on that reverse, cutting that short, wider angle. Needs to get in a good follow-up though.
10-6.
Very aggressive serve there by Vila, trying to put pressure on Labaka. Labaka able to pick that ball up from the backhand corner and save a game point.
And there's that opportunity for the counter setup. Isaac Villa goes up 2-0. 11-7 here in the second game. We're here at the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort in Everett, Washington. I want to give a special thank you to Snohomish County Sports Commission and the city of Everett for really a great amount of support for this event in terms of getting the word out and helping with marketing support. Always fantastic to go to venues that really care about the events that we're at, and I think we're going to have a pretty thrilling weekend here.
Yeah, the players have just been speaking so highly of how well they've been treated. They can't wait to put on a show, so all the fans who are watching this, if you get a chance, come out to Everett, and the Snohomish County Sports Commission doing a great job.
I must say, it's my first time out here in the kind of Washington State area, and really pleasant air and scenery, mountains in the back. It's a really nice place to have an event. So me personally, very happy to be exploring here for the first time and having the chance to be out here with MLTT.
Well, I just love the fact we saw it in Portland for the previous match, but now having the Seattle Spinners have a home court advantage. So
yeah, I think there's going to be some rowdiness when they get out here later tonight in their match against the Bay Area Blasters. Right now it's all Texas and Portland. A little lucky net break from Vila ties things up here. Oh, Nishant's going for broke.
What a big forehand. That looked like 2 games worth of backswing bottled up, where he just crushed. Great forehand to get the lead. That serve bounced way too high, and Vila took advantage of it.
Barker holding his ground there with that quick forehand counter.
That is not an easy shot. Great timing by Labaka. Oh, that ball just jumped at the last second. Labaka doing everything he can to salvage this 3rd game, so it's only a 1-point deficit in this match. Vila would love to get a 3-0 sweep if possible. Going here at the table end change. Labaka with the lead.
We've got the doubles coming up next between Kasahara Amy Wong against Kola and Rachel Sung. It's a match to watch out for, according to Sean.
Yeah, well,
could be a decisive result.
I mean, right now Portland is in the driver's seat trying to sweep here, but there's a timeout by Portland. They do not want to have this sweep opportunity go by.
Of course, each team has 2 timeouts each.
Como no algo estresado, ¿no? Tomar tiempo entre los puntos, respirar, todo eso, ¿no? Es importante.
You might have a rough start, but it's not too late to come back and finish strong.
Sí.
As long as they're keeping score, it's anybody's game.
Él va a ser mucho largo,
Nishant has a
¿no?
very
Tú sabes
tricky
eso, ¿no?
style. And on the other
También
side,
para
very
ti,
stable spin
no es tan
game.
importante
A
para
lot
hacer
of people
cortas
want to
sacas.
know. I'm looking back at those who
Para ser
didn't
medio
raise their
largo,
hands
para
to
el
get
revés,
into
él
table
hace el
tennis
atacar
just yet.
lento, fácil
Not
para ti
gonna
para
lie,
atacar, ¿no?
These quads, you
Pero
can't see them
tomar
from there
tiempo entre los
because they're
puntos.
covered in this amazing
En no ver
pattern. But they
conmigo,
got
no ver
much
con
bigger
ellos,
just
ve
from
el
playing more
piso.
table tennis, moving
No ve allá.
around. The amount of physical
Ve allá,
fitness and the
concéntrate,
advantage
todo el terreno.
to being physically
Okay,
fit
es mejor.
is that you
Okay,
have more
vámonos.
answers and opportunities.
Well, that was a good one for all you Spanish speakers out there. Always handy having a coach with Spanish, Swedish, and English-speaking players on his team, and he can speak Spanish, Swedish, and English.
German.
Multilingual.
French.
The very multilingual
I'm just wondering
coach.
if Christian selected players so he could demonstrate all of his different languages, because he's got, I want to say, at least 6 of them. So big points right here.
things have tied up here after that timeout. 6 points each, about halfway through the third game.
These are just really big and tight points. Both players fighting for the offense.
Barker just holding steady in the backhand to backhand counter. Leads by 2. He wants to pick up a point here, and if he does, it'll still be tied up in the team standing.
Oh, that is classic Nishant Labaka, great forehand smash on a loose ball that popped up. Just crushed it.
Nine, 8.
Villa just 1 point behind here.
This is a big serve because Vila will get the serve at 9 off. He can tie it up, and he does.
Half long, a little loose. I don't know if that was intentional.
9.
There was no pressure after the serve, and now Vila with a chance on his own serve to sweep and give Portland a 2-point lead.
And that's a big set play there from Vila. He
10,
goes half long with
9.
the reverse. Picks up the counter. He's been so solid on his forehand counters throughout this match. And he'll take it. A turnaround in the third game. Isaac Villa Ortiz for the Portland Paddlers wins 3 games to 0. A big result here in this matchup. So we're going to have a little chat with Christian Lilleros, coach of the Portland Paddlers. This little interval we have. Christian, fantastic result for the team in the overall points. Now, the one thing that I want to bring up is the last time these two played, you weren't there, and Nishant won 3-0. So talk us through how you turned that around in complete opposite.
Yeah, I took a chance here because I felt that last time when Isaac played Nishant, he lost 3-0. But I felt he played bad. And I also know that Isaac and Nishant actually play in the same club in New Jersey. You might be familiar with that club. And so Nishant is a very special style. He has pips on forehand, you need to get used to it. So if you train with somebody like that, he knows the style is totally different. So I wanted that to happen. And I was hoping that Jörg would remember, the previous match. He will want that too. So we took a chance and so we turned that around. It's also, Isaac has been in Portland training with us a couple of days. We talked about a couple of things that we need to improve in his game with his backhand and his counter-attacking game. And he played in the first game. It's also this new thing. So it's dangerous when right before a big tournament to change things. So the first game, he was playing exactly what we wanted to do, and that's how he played in training. Of course, after that, it's been more and more pressured. Yeah. So it's difficult to do new things directly in a tournament. But I was super happy that he can turn 9-7 to 10-11-9. Yeah, right. That was unbelievable. So that's fantastic. We're so happy about that.
So Christian, although I don't speak Spanish, it looked like you were telling him to really focus in the match on game 3 to go for the sweep. Was that something that, whether it was in training in Portland that you noticed or just that you saw during the match, was that his mind was kind of seeing all over the arena?
Correct. I mean, the first game he was so focused, everything going right. The second game he lost a little bit focus, The third game, I called a timeout that I really saw he lost the focus. So I felt that the nerves started to get to him. So it was more important to calm him down and really focus. And it was so important for us to win 3-0. We really needed that. And it's very difficult to win 3-0. Like the first time you win super easy, then you go all the way to win 3-0. It takes a lot of effort, and he pulled it through. And every game gets more and more difficult. So the third game was, of course, the most difficult one.
Well, Christian, you've got a long weekend ahead of you. We'll let you get back to the bench ahead of this doubles to keep doing your good work.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
So straight into the doubles here. Portland paddlers pairing of Cole and Rachel Sung has been the reliable pairing on the West Coast here in the West Division, but of course we've seen Kasahara and Amy Wong a number of times as well.
And for the fans of MLTT who's watched the West Coast Division, the number of times that Amy and Rachel have played, we often mention they are roommates at UCLA. Not easy when you're playing Major League anything to then have to go up against a roommate. They are the mainstays on the U.S. Pan Am team, both in the championships and the games. And they're going to be fighting for a chance to join Lily Chung in Paris. So we've got Olympic hopefuls, in addition to when Lily is playing in the evening match, our first U.S. Olympian for Paris.
So actually the last time these two played in Pleasanton, Kasahara and Amy, they lost out by 1 golden point in the Pleasanton round.
Oh, what a play by Rachel Sung. Just completely finding the open court off the bounce. Able to get Kasahara stuck in the backhand corner. It's a difference when you have two right-handed players. They've got to cover so much space compared to a righty-lefty combination of the Portland team.
5-3.
Just less movement to get their forehands into play.
Go. 5-4.
So interestingly enough, the Texas Smash have never won against this combination.
4-6.
Against Cole and Rachel Sung. So they certainly have that going in their favor.
With a 2-point lead,
4-7.
if Portland is able to take this, let's not forget that Tyrese Knight and Cole are on the bottom half in the 3-4 match and then in the 1-2 match.
8-4.
With Cole being the top player for the paddlers.
It's very interesting to see the team dynamics. You have Amy and Rachel who are both quite stoic and focused, and then Kasahara and Cole have that kind of same mechanical approach.
5-9.
Right now, Cole and Rachel Sung up 9-5.
And the ball just keeps going faster and faster over the net. This order does favor Portland, with Cole playing into Amy's game. And right now, game point for the paddlers to go up by 3.
11-6. Game 2.
So first game goes to Portland Paddlers. 11 points to 6 for the reliable pairing of Cole and Rachel Sung. As you said, the doubles is going to be a big one. This could potentially push Portland's lead out if they can get a good handle on this match here. Back to the table with Amy Wong serving. Kasahara and Wong playing the better position in that point. I think the key thing here in this match, especially when you look from the side angle, is both of these teams want to play close to the table, and as soon as one backs off, you start to see one team take the upper hand. looks like Kasahara is actually getting distracted by the t-shirt, because the Texas Smash t-shirt's quite a light color when you have a white ball.
York just lost his view. This is great. This is so funny.
Even Kasahara is getting a good smile out of this.
Be fun to see the other side of the monitor of the iPad. Oh, what a nice combo platter there by Texas. Kasahara opening up, and then Amy just closing the door. Oh, that's a great underspin push.
Yeah, and Amy's doing a great job of really pushing Cole around the table. She's got him down the line on the forehand twice already this game.
Yeah. And you see when Kasahara puts pressure on Rachel, it allows Amy really to be the quarterback. And look at that shot there. I don't know how Cole got that one back, but Amy launched another great forehand. Just came in and just stepped around.
And again, that down the line.
Just so fast off the bounce.
You can see there the updated standings. Texas Smash 160. Portland Paddlers starting to move up as well.
Eight down only.
Yeah, and the Portland Paddlers need a strong showing this weekend if they want to move up. And
I mean, Golden Game's worth 6. Cole and Tyrese could narrow it right in the first match of the weekend. But this game has been all Texas. Just great teamwork between Kasahara and Amy Wong.
And they've done a great job of getting their opponents to really reach on the forehand side. Just taking that balance across the middle of the table away, pushing at wide angles.
It seems a lot of times with Rachel sending her out to the forehand and then Cole sending him out to his forehand so they can cross. Look at that.
Yeah, crisscross. X marks the spot.
Just ball had no chance to bounce. They took it so quick. What a blowout here.
Yeah. 10-3. Plenty of game points in the bag here.
4-10. 5-10.
Texas bleeding a couple of points here. They've got to make sure they close out. All right, this time Cole covering that wide forehand angle. And they'll do it. 11-6.
Game 2, smash.
Texas Smash take game 2 to tie things up at 1 game each.
A very impressive start here for Texas. It's actually highly political. There may have changes in their years, but
MLTT merch there in the audience.
Game 3.
Good chance to support your teams.
Go! 0-1.
Asahara getting a little vocal here to start game 3.
Oh, wow. Wow. Rachel Sung finding the hole in the defense, able just to play to the left of Amy down the line, setting a pick, a moving pick. Kasahara stepping up.
Amy's still smiling about that.
Much stronger opening by Rachel Sung.
Yeah, they've got to get in and they've got to hold the table.
And because we've seen the order at 11-6, 11-6, both teams, when the male is playing against the female, having a big advantage, Portland needs to get to 5 first. Otherwise, Texas is going to have that slight upper hand. We saw such a difference in game 2 with their positioning and offense. Nice third ball attack. Colas are very difficult to keep low. And Rachel, great job at smashing the ball.
And there's the wide placement coming back at them.
Just a great job of getting Kasahara stuck in the backhand corner, leaving the wide forehand open. At that time, Kasahara got over the table.
4-4.
Pretty even game here. And
I would say that right now, Texas is exactly where they want to be. Next point, they'll change ends. And service receivers.
And Amy Wong just picks that ball up straight off the bounce.
Seems almost the heavier and stronger Cole makes it, the faster it comes back.
Following this doubles, we have 2 more singles matches. The first will be between Yuan Rebate and Tyrese Knight. The attack versus modern defense for you coming up.
Six, 4.
It just seems Amy's so well equipped to handle the incoming ball that she can really put a lot more pressure on Cole.
Rachel's going to need to do a lot more, but when that ball is hit at that speed by Kasahara, no one's returning it. See Texas beginning to break out here in game 3.
Kasahara gets pushed way back and off the corner on that ball. Portland Paddlers still in with a chance here, but Texas Smash definitely have a hand on the steering wheel.
Wow. Again, over the table, Kasahara. Paddlers battling back.
Cole gets over the table there.
7-9.
Draw things back to within 2. Still got some work ahead of them. They want a chance here. Probably need to win both of these.
Very nice opening by Rachel.
8-9. Timeout. Smash.
The timeout from the Texas Smash. And we're going to try and listen in if we can.
But he's in a form right now where he can't shout. And the person who's his spokesman, Darryl Tsao, is not the loudest man in the world. So Vinci Gallo tried to call a timeout last point, but it got lost in translation because the players didn't hear Darryl. And then it was one more point. And he said, okay, time, I gotta speak up. I'll bet Vinci was there.
I think since Darryl has AirPods in, there's probably no volume coming from the iPad. So
this is really interesting. Elon, good to see you.
It's like a lot of communication
Welcome back. Were you in
between
Thailand? How was Thailand?
Kasahara and Amy Wong.
Awesome, man. Wow, I just came from my neck of the woods recently.
Very important part of doubles for doubles partners to communicate with each other a lot.
I didn't need a microphone. This is incredible.
Kasahara seems like he's taking a bit more of a leadership role in the absence of Coach Jorgen, in the absence of David Macbeth as well. So
yeah, he's definitely been a lot more vocal, and you know, adding new technology, it's not the easiest thing, and sometimes just trying to go back to the basics of saying, hey, we got to play. Got his message across to his teammate Amy.
9.
Now they've got to try to get to 10 on Rachel's serve.
Quick backhand flick there from Cole, and they do exactly what they needed to. Tie things up at 9-9.
And we looked, Matt, at the last match where Christian called the timeout, got the 2 points directly. Now here's a timeout on the other side. Texas needs to get to 10 right now, otherwise we could see some separation in the game. Oh, Amy Wong, great backhand opening. No hesitation. Excellent play over the table. Just see Cole did not expect that ball coming so fast.
And this time, Rachel Sung goes for the flick against the short ball. And both teams trying to keep it short and close to the net. And just like last time, it's all going to come down to a golden point. 10 each.
Such a big match, and we are going to the final golden point here in Game 3.
Two clips of the net is not enough. Portland Paddlers somehow pull that off. They win the golden point.
What a play. Paddlers coming back to create a 3-point lead now after the mixed doubles break. Big comeback for the Paddlers.
Well, we're going to go have a chat with Rachel after that win by 1 golden point. The last time you played them in Portland was also a golden point as well, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, actually in Pleasanton.
Yeah.
So you guys always seem to tend to have these really, really close matches. At the end of the third game, what did it come down to for you and Cole to be able to especially come back from being 9-7 down and then to close out that golden point?
I think when we were down, we just tried to stay on top of the ball because they're really fast. So just try not to think too much about it and just go for it.
So Rachel, how has the team's mental approach after the Portland set of matches? You're right now in the thick of things where it looked like maybe the playoffs were something you guys would be watching. Now you're within arm's reach. Has the team as a whole come together and really said, we've got to do everything to get into the playoffs? What has been that dynamic?
I think definitely our team morale went up a lot after last, because we were on a losing streak, so I feel like now everyone's just a little more positive, and we're just trying our best to get in the playoffs.
And what is it going to take for you personally throughout this weekend? What's your main focus to try and get as many points for the team as you can, especially in the golden game, which I think is pretty important for you guys?
I'm just going to stay positive and keep calm. Yeah.
Good to see you nice and enthusiastic.
Staying calm.
Well done on the doubles win, and we'll see you in the golden game. Always a bundle of energy, Rachel. Great win there for the Portland Paddlers. That's going to set them out to a 6-3 lead. Yohan Rebete taking on Tyrese Knight. And Rebete's parents have actually flown in here from Switzerland to watch him play. So amazing to have them here and to have come all this way to watch him. You can only hope for their sake that he plays as well as he did in Portland here in Everett this weekend.
I mean, he was totally on fire in Portland, and the one thing, his service game, he was serving his opponents off the table, and just great mental focus. And wow, to have parents fly all the way in across the pond here to cheer for their son, who's just really been a breath of fresh air for Texas with his super performance in the recent matches.
Seems like it's been planned for 5 years for today. Sure looking so good.
I'm just wondering, and here we can see the now down to 8 points different now in the head-to-head, and we're going to be watching after every single game as teams. And again, it just puts so much more pressure on this golden game where you can take a 6-point chunk.
Of course, last time in Portland, Rebete recorded a 3-0 win against Daniel Tran. You're going to see how he pairs up against a somewhat defensive player with still a very aggressive forehand game.
Tyrese. Anything that he can turn into a counter-looping rally from the forehand-to-forehand exchange, he'll do that. I think he does like it when he gets a bigger first ball to his backhand, because he can use that spin against the opponent.
I feel like one thing that Rebete could use to his advantage is typically when Tyrese gets into those counter-looping rallies from the forehand, he tends to focus mostly cross-court. Means just a lot of angles for him to cover.
The ball has so much spin when these two guys are playing. It's very easy to see some misreads because they're really maxing out on that first ball. They're not using literally any control at all. You can just see that big forehand. And again, if Tyrese can keep the ball deeper, I think we'll see Rebete having more difficulties finishing the ball. Whereas if it's a little bit more to the center of the table, he'll have no trouble just retopping it.
Rebete just kind of missing his mark on the forehands to start out.
5-1.
As you saw in the matchup, he's 26th on the NLTT rankings right now. 20 and 13 in singles, so 60%.
That's one heck of a result. Of course, when you do a number of sweeps, you expect to get some positive differentials. What a shot by Tyrese Knight.
Surprise.
How did he get his backhand on that ball? I thought Rebete had a clear winner. Somehow Tyrese just stayed in the pocket, put a paddle on the ball, and was rewarded. It's these points right here. If Tyrese gets this first game, creates a 4-point, and then remember, Cole's coming next, which has been their ace in the hole in all their matches where they've won.
Rebete again just missing those forehands against the defense. I think one thing that is probably a big factor here is whether Rebete gets to practice against defensive players that much. That's always something that plays into matches like these.
And I will say, Tyrese Knight is making great decisions. He's not overplaying.
Yeah.
Rebete is earning the points when he's getting it. He's only gotten 3 of them, but they've been 3 big attacks. This is one of those momentums where Portland has a chance to do a little bit more go for it with the slight lead. That ball is so heavy, I was just going to say, get the forklift out. I mean, Rebete, he adds so much spin to the first ball, he's got to be looping his own ball at this point. I mean, that ball was under the the top of the net by about a half an inch. And wow, 9-3 for Tyrese Knight.
I think one of the other important things so far in this first game is Tyrese has been able to use the long pip side to really shut down the reverse serve. So he's controlled that really well. Started to see Rebete switch his serve game up more. Maybe we'll see more pendulum from him instead.
That gives just a cleaner return when he steps around his backhand.
This time Rebete's backed off the table.
Tyrese would love to have that ball back. He's going to have to work to get to that 11th point. Nice backhand opening play by Rebete, and although he's trailing, looks a lot more confident right now.
Well, he had the chance to block it down the line. Tyrese Knight, 5 game points here in game 1.
He's going into shot making mode. He's taking the opportunity if the ball's anywhere near his forehand. He's going for a very strong forehand loop. Gets a lucky break there.
Tyrese
Game
takes
1.
game 1.
Wow.
Big start for the paddlers in this singles match. Tyrese Knight takes game 1, 11 points to 6.
But not 3-2-9, just 3-9. 3-9, not 3-2-9. If someone says 3-9, how do you say that in Japanese? I go with this. Anyway, the joke goes like this. How do you say 3-9 in Japanese? And then the Japanese person says, San Q. You go, you are what is on. Yay, good time, good time. All right, if you have any more questions, please let me know. Thank you, I appreciate that, Chris. All right.
So, Johan Rebete there, getting some feedback from Coach Jörg Bitzigayo, who's here with the team in digital form.
Yeah, you can see Rebete had the earphones in, earpods.
Yeah, they have been bestowed upon Darryl Tsao for the majority of this match. So if there's a timeout call, it's the responsibility of the coach's ear, as with Darryl.
Just saying, there is a lot in Texas, a lot of passion, and we'll see if this match comes back or not.
So a few unforced errors, opportunities set up for Rebete, but he kind of sent the ball sailing long a few times.
Yeah, you know, he couldn't have started any slower than he did, with a lot of balls that were on his paddle but off the end of the table.
I think he was also very passive. Sometimes you kind of looked and went, okay, who's the defensive player here?
Again, I think that Tyrese came out making some very effective chops on the backhand side.
And Rebete just easing into things here. I think one thing he's done really well is to kind of play half long and get that opening from Tyrese, and then just use the backhand to guide it back into the defensive side. It's a pretty common strategy against defensive players. Yeah, that serve return certainly looks like more of a problem.
And that's excellent footwork by Tyrese. Once he makes that first forehand, he's covering the next 2-3 balls only with his forehand side, moving it around, forcing Rebete off the table.
Now, if Tyrese wins even one more game here, Texas Smash could be in some serious trouble. If Cole comes out here and brings his A game, there's potential for them to be guaranteed the win.
Yeah, and more importantly for Portland, not only would they like the win, but they'd like to win big.
3-3.
If there was a way for it to be 17-4 or 16-5, that just eliminated the whole lead, and they're now tied with Texas, knowing that, again, with Seattle and the Blasters coming up, one of those teams is going to get blasted, so, or spun. Oh, big points by Rebete. Just really, one game makes such a difference from being down 6-2 to now being up 6-2 and getting into the rallies on his terms.
2-6.
Just some simple point structure here from Rebete has paid huge dividends in the second game.
Oh, that's a great backhand loop, but somehow returned by Tyrese and then sent long by Rebete.
Seems like Rebete is trying to control the ball shorter a bit more.
Looks like he's relaxing a little bit with his drives, where the first game maybe so focused on winning that made his strokes a little, I'm going to say stiffer, but a little bit shorter.
4-9.
I'd say Rebete has a lot of breathing space right now with a 9-4 lead. Make that.
No, you've got to capitalize on that breathing room. You don't want it to vanish.
For some reason, Tyrese was able to take these 2 points. Olala was right.
9-6.
Heavy loop on the first ball that Knight just gave him back all the same spin. As he went to loop it, that was bottom of the net. Oh, that ball went super deep. I thought it was going off the end, and it just dropped in.
So this time, it's Rebete with 5 game points. And great half-long drop there from Johan Rebete. He draws things up at 1 game each. Back with the headphones in.
Matt, it seems like Johan has such a good relationship with Jorg, and when Jorg is able just to give him good tactics, keep him calm, let him know that it's all within his racket. He doesn't have to play amazing shots, but just do what he's capable of, that he's delivered. He's executed well. And it's when he overplays or tries to go for a little too much, Tyrese Knight has to get his offense going. He cannot just be on the other side of the net returning balls.
With the racket so open and it's facing the ceiling, and it's crazy how pretty these balls are. So enjoy the floating shots of Tyrese Knight.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a chance to inquire more about what kind of advice he was getting if he can pull through here in the third game. Tyrese Knight's going to be looking to capture this point here. This is potentially a huge point for both teams.
0-0.
Right now with Portland leading 7-4 in this match. Probably pretty confident that Cole's going to close out the individual matches for them strongly.
I don't know how Tyrese got that one ball back, but again, credit Rebete for staying focused in the rally and keeping the pressure on.
And a big save off the net ball, and smart play from Rebete, not getting stuck in that counter diagonal where Tyrese is comfortable. He comes in, clears it with the backhand, gets it back over to the defensive side.
It looked like that ball might have caught the edge of the paddle by Tyrese on the second forehand loop, but that was a full swing to get on the board. Rebete with the serve, leading 3-1.
Oh, just counters it away. Looks like it might have mishit a little bit on the racket.
It could have caught, I don't know. I mean,
it looked cleanish.
It looked clean. It looked
short,
like he just made a heck of an angled shot.
Yeah, Rebete's pumped out there.
Yeah, he's just sending over, and there's a timeout for the paddlers.
Timeout.
That's their second timeout.
Paddlers.
They only have 2 timeouts during the individual matches. They'll get 1 more each per team. Or 1, I should say, 1 in the Golden Game.
When you think about Switzerland, don't you think about
the issue is here is that everything is looking for your attack. How can you attack?
competitive sport, you have
So he's trying to take away your attack with short.
outperform
He's
your
trying to
opponents.
make you to chop.
Think
He's
about
trying to, everything he's doing is taking away your attack. You have to find your attack. Everything is about finding your attack.
You tell me.
Right?
Just saying.
So,
Just saying. So coaches have the right to call timeout, and if they call a timeout and the player says, no, I don't want it, it doesn't matter. The coach has spent that timeout. The coach makes the call here. So I think it'd be really funny if, hypothetically, like Bitsy, your Bitsy Gaio, made a butt dial and accidentally called the timeout. He had a typo and it wasted the team's timeout. Coaches know what's up. What? We've got a coach here. Hey, raise your hand if you're going to be rooting for the Seattle Spinners later on.
Okay, we can try that too. Let's go, let's go.
Shout out to our coach, Luba Sadowska, who's here.
Tyrese Knight getting some good advice from the whole bench, from Coach Christian and Chiwe.
I mean, it's just, for Portland, it's a team effort now just to try to get back into this third game. On the other side of the court,
Yes, that
Rebete just getting the one-on-one, stay focused, continue to do what you're doing, whereas Tyrese has to, as the coach said, get that attack going, and that one is sent quite long.
But he is going for those chances, and that's kind of backhand swipe that he played in the first point. You can see him changing things up, but is he putting now too much pressure on himself to try and attack?
Yeah, he's swinging regardless of if the shot's there.
I think there's a difference between initiating the attack and trying to win points so quickly. Rebete still with a 7-3 lead here in the third.
And that's
a little short. That's a
loopable ball, but not a finishable ball, as Tyrese went for the wide forehand.
Up in the last singles. Singles number 4 next is Nandan Naresh against Kolei. That's going to be an exciting match.
Every one of these matches that we've seen tonight between Portland and Texas has just been so eye-opening. Knight needs this point to get back within 2 and then to get the serve. And you can just see the expression on Rebete. Exactly what he needed to get done. And just an overplay.
5-10.
Got the ball he wanted, but unable to convert.
Tyrese recovers from the net ball. Goes through broke on that last ball. Johan Rebete wins 2 games out of 3, putting on a show for the parents. And the Texas smash close to within 2. This is a lot of pressure alleviated off the Texas team because Next match is going to be tough. There's that big, he's out there playing tennis on that last ball, a big two-handed backhand. But Johan Revite ultimately the winner here, and we're going to go and have a chance to chat with him in just a moment. Johan, congratulations. Great performance to take 2 for you there, especially given the team situation with the points. I mean, these were really important for you, but first and foremost, your parents are here from Switzerland.
Yeah, exactly.
How is it to have them here on the sideline playing in the US?
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's only bonus. Like, I really enjoy having them. They've been supporting me like since a very young age, so it's really cool.
So my thought is, when you came out, it seemed like the timing was a little bit off. Do you know what happened in the beginning of the first game?
I mean, I was prepared because he's able to play like crazy good shots. He has an amazing feeling, and I was a bit nervous in the beginning. Also, there's a lot of distraction this weekend in our team, a lot of uncertainties, and like, okay, we have to deal with that. So of course everybody is a bit like nervous, but it's getting better as the match goes by.
And do you usually get the opportunity to play with defensive players often, or is it a style that you're comfortable with?
Yeah, actually play with a chopper in Switzerland all the time, but he has like a soft, so like short pimple, so it's a bit different. But yeah, I was accustomed to it.
Well, congratulations. You've given Texas a good pushback there, and good luck for the Golden Game. We'll see you there.
Thanks a lot.
So Johan Revite taking the 2 games out of 3. As you said, a little bit of a slow start from him in the first, but he clutched up and came through there. Texas still trailing by 2 games, but even if Cole sweeps 3-0 here, they ensure that they're alive during the Golden Game, and that was really important there in that match between Tyrese and Johan Revite to ensure that Texas stays alive. Nandan, of course, straight back from Busan, where he just played the World Team Championships, so a long flight to get here for him, and it's going to be interesting to see how him and also Nikhil do.
Yeah, no, time change alone is not easy on the body, and again, I'm sure that Portland is hoping to get a sweep here if possible, and then to take that momentum into the Golden Game and possibly add or pad another 6 points. We've seen, you know, Evan normally has every stat under the sun about what it means to go into with that 5-point deficit.
Yes.
So I'm thinking Texas is going to have a very difficult time.
I think it's 90%.
Yeah, so it's really going to be Nandan's effort right now to see if he can bring that. And here we have.
Yeah, there they are. It's actually almost 93% probability of winning. It's 26 and 2 Golden Games have been won by the team that goes in leading 5-0. So Nandan, even by winning 1 game, can potentially save 30% discount of the season. Cole second on the MLTT standings, 22 and 14 in singles. It's one of his stronger, the reverse pendulum serve variations, not just from the service position, but also from the middle of the table and across on the forehand. Tough to read them, tough to return them with some intent.
Right. No, putting it on the table, not an issue.
Case in point.
Putting it on the table where you're not going to see a blistering forehand loop for a winner. Much easier said than done, and he never loops it off the end of the table. It's always going off at such an extreme angle, so your footwork has to be absolutely moving early to cover the angles.
Yeah, Cole, for me, in terms of technical precision, is one of the players that I like to watch more.
And Nikhil Nandan has to go for shots. He's not going to win by playing safe and keeping it on the table.
Yeah.
But he just needs to make sure that when he does go for the shot, that it's a high percentage, that he's not just going for shoving the ball over the table as fast as he can.
Now, these two have played twice before in MLTT. On the first occasion, which was pretty early in the season, Kole won 3-0. The last time they played, Nandan was able to take one game,
which was
by
huge.
golden point, but yeah, really, really big. Not easy to win games against a player like Kole.
And when you do win, like this first game, if Kole can close it out, a game relatively easy, the chance of sweeping really go up, because it's not like you've had an 11-9, 11-9, 11-9 like we saw in the very first match with Kazahara and Jiwei Shah. Give a free game, makes it that much easier.
Oh, and there's some weirdness going on out there. I mean, we actually saw this the last time that they both played. Nandan just played some unreal kind of touch and feeling shots, but Kole had the measure of them out there on that point.
10-3.
It almost looked like I can do you one better with this underspin side spin loop.
And there's the serve and attack from Kole. Simple execution gets him over the line. 11-3 the first game.
For one player more than the other, of course, is game number 1. You might have heard some of the names that is over here put it out.
Decisive start there from Kole. While he's ranked 2 on the MLTT standings, he's certainly the dominant player in the West Division. Of course, when they played the cross, he wasn't there, so he didn't compete. So we didn't get to see the face-off between him and Enzo, who's currently #1 on the standings. There's that rally again between the two, and Kole just almost going for a Tempin bowling hook on that one. So players come back. Nandan Naresh starting off with the serve. He's got some work to do, and the Portland Paddlers made a little bit of a run there. They've equaled things with the spinners, but the Texas Smash are really pushing back to try and keep themselves in the lead. The golden game is going to be pretty important in this matchup. You know, when the top and the bottom, you go into the weekend, there's only 11 points of separation. 6-point golden game is it's a pretty big opportunity for all teams.
If you can win 2 out of the 3 golden games this weekend, you're almost guaranteed to be moving up in the standings or holding your space.
Oh, that's in contention to be one of the better points this weekend.
That will be a top 10. With Nandan coming in with a big backhand loop after some heavy side spin. There's a little snake action there.
2-1.
Great over the table backhand play by Nandan. He knows he can take a game because he did it last time they played. There's no better chance to take one right now and to bring Texas back within 2.
Nandan really going for broke on that half-long ball.
No hesitation there. Nandan just giving himself a lot of self-encouragement. He's telling himself energy, energy, energy.
Straight off the serve, aggressive. Certainly being more assertive. I mean, he knows that he has to play his A game throughout the entirety of the match.
Oh, look at that.
5-3.
I was amazed that Cole was able to return the serve return. He put it back on, and then Nandan didn't move an inch and just put another one. Oh,
you could only stand there and watch that. The angle out to the wide forehand corner from Cole. Cole certainly seems more comfortable with Nandan's forehand than the backhand punches.
And that's super control by Cole, dropping it, taking the big backhand away. Cole focusing on position right now. Nandan trying to get his backhand to land.
And they're throwing hands out there. The speed just picked up so quickly.
Each one just looks like a hand grenade being thrown over the net. And no hesitation.
The question is, can Nandan sustain that level of aggressiveness? I've brushed on this before commentating. I've commentated a lot of Cole's matches in the US in a lot of tournaments. And players have to raise their aggressiveness consistently throughout an entire match so that they can put enough pressure on him to the point where they find a gap in the table, even if it's at a very crazy wide short angle. That was unreal.
I mean, just a reactionary backhand angle. And Cole just goes tighter and tighter, spinnier and spinnier. His blocks just become lower and lower as the game gets towards the end. There's just not a lot of angles to work with when he's dropping the serve. There's a reason he's won the US Open twice. And any loose ball, he's going to put away to a location that no one's counterattacking.
There's your prompt to join the MLTT Fantasy League at fantasizer.com.
I think you've got Cole.
Yeah.
And I opted.
He wasn't cheap.
No.
For good reason.
I'm thankful that I got Rachel. As they stormed back in the doubles, as well as Kazuhara. So
I love the Fantasy League just because it really gives you that little bit of added vested interest in the players. I think that's so important. You know, getting invested behind the teams and the players is something that's somewhat been missing in table tennis. And having the Fantasy League really adds a little bit of competition outside the table too.
Well, you can have a favorite team from a region, but then you can also create your own team.
Yep.
Which you can go for the upsets, or you can. This week I've got all the women. I'm figuring that they're going to get points in the doubles in the golden game, because sometimes your players don't actually get out on the court.
Yeah.
When the coaches have to choose the lineup. But look at Cole.
Just storms back into it. 10-8.
Just reels Nandan back in, who's just playing above his weight level.
Cole takes the second game, 11-8. So the Portland Paddlers inch closer to that all-important lead going into the golden game. Right now, guaranteed a 3-point lead, but they could get a 5-point lead, and this game moves them ahead of the Seattle Spinners on the standings. Of course, the Spinners are going to play again. Well, they're going to play for the first time this weekend tonight against the Bay Area Blasters. But the Paddlers making up some ground here from the bottom of the table into third.
Because 5 points have already been scored by Texas this match. Even if this last game is won by Portland Paddlers, it would be 10-5. Now, for the remaining season, for the playoffs, the maximum lead any team can have coming into the golden game is 5 points, which would be 5-0 at its start in game 21. I'm curious to see what happens when we bring digital door
start us off with the serve.
Game 3. Paddler
We'll
serve.
see if Nandan can
0-0.
raise the bar and capture a game here, or whether Kole is going to take the sweep. I've seen Nandan taking some big backhand risks out there. But you've got to hit 3 or 4 of them to try and win a point. Really tough to sustain, and Kole
1-0.
looks pretty comfortable out there.
Just great opening, stepping around, finding the hole on the other side of the table.
Misses that opportunity to get the ball. He's got a bit of almost a smile on his face there after that one. Did an amazing job of defending against those backhands.
I think Kole knows that if he plays 10 points like that, he's probably going to win 7, because it's such a high risky shot by Nandan to put that amount of speed and pressure on the ball.
Well, that's why he's very much the man to beat here in the West Division.
3-1.
Those fantasy points are looking very well spent at this juncture. Both.
I
from
told you, man, he's not expensive for no reason.
Again,
timeout.
Because you know you're going to get mixed doubles points. And then if he's sweeping, and now you've got a chance to get golden game.
I mean, look, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson from the cross division, because in the cross division, I thought, you know, Enzo's it's going to be tough on the fantasy budget. So I was like, I'm not going to take Enzo. I mean, these guys are so reliable. They have so much experience and so much technical skill. It's really hard to get away from them. So Nandan's going to pop the headphones in there. Hopefully they end up in ears and not in his drink.
All right, times like this.
See Coach York Gayo there on the iPad. A little reminder here of the upcoming schedule. We're obviously here at Everett, Washington for the second to last West Division match. The final East Division matchup comes in Lawrenceville, New Jersey in mid-March. That is going to be a big one. I heard tickets are selling out really fast, and it's probably going to be one of the more rowdy East Coast matches. And of course, the West Division ends out in early April in Wichita, Kansas, and the top 2 teams at the end of that from West and East Division will face off in the championship weekend in Chicago, and that's at the end of April. You can see that schedule at mltt.com, and of course, if you go /tickets, you can get your tickets to come and see that in person. Certainly much more exciting being here in person. Just steps things up a lot. Not that I don't love the live stream, because, you know, especially the Portland one where I had to watch from home as you guys had the time of your lives. But being there in person is a great experience.
Just the sound of the crack of the ball, and then the exultation of the players and their teammates behind them just changes the atmosphere so much.
The only thing they miss out on is Evan explaining the difference between an alligator and a crocodile.
That's true. But they can watch that on
They can watch that on replay, yeah.
In slow motion if necessary.
Cole's 6-1 here in the third. He's not looking back at all.
And he's upped it a little bit, so that just puts that much more pressure on Nandan, which for this golden game, a 5-point lead likely.
I mean, the one thing that stands out about Kole is he has such stability in his legs. The foundation of his footwork movements is so solid. You very rarely see him getting pushed off balance.
That first spin, low and heavy, and it sends a message no matter where he drives the ball in. Nice counterattacks by both players. Cole's final backhand catches the net on his side of the table. It's like Nandan is going to add a little Dima Ovcharov forehand. High toss.
Tomahawk action.
Tomahawk. Shout out to Dima. And that converts for Nandan. He takes 2 points with one of the owners of the Princeton Revolution. Well-known service technique. And going for broke, pulls himself within 3 points. Cole now jumping over the backhand side, trying to force a more safe return, and I'm going for the heavy.
He's done a good job of clawing back some points here. Oh, here comes. Okay, okay. He's looking for a highlight opportunity
right
here.
now, he's like, I made 6 of them. That should give me something. The problem is not really moving his feet all that much.
Well, he stated on numerous occasions that he wants my commentator's pick points. Here we go. Oh, that's not going to make it.
That last smash actually went shorter than the prior one. Took a big jump. And now Cole with the serve.
Gets it done. The ball sails long. Cole with a 3-0 sweep, 11-6 in the third. And the Portland Paddlers will go into the Golden Game 10-5. They have a maximum 5-point lead. Will the Texas Smash be able to claw their way back from that? 92.9% chance says no from Evan Leffler. But you never know. Stats are all passed, so we've got a Golden Game coming up in just a few moments. Before we head into that Golden Game, of course, we'll take a look back at the matches that came before. Started off with a big clash between Kasahara and Jiwei Shah. Very close games, all 11-9. It was Kasahara who came out on top. Labaka and Isaac Ortiz in the second game, a complete reversal from their last match in the cross division, saw Vila come out on top 3-0. The doubles was another tight one. A bit of a repeat of last time, came down to 1 golden point. Cole and Rachel Sun coming out on top. Despite a slow start, Yohan Rebetes did Texas some pretty big favors in the next match by winning 2 and keeping their hopes alive for this upcoming Golden Game. Because, of course, we knew the rest coming in here. Cole, top team, winning 3-0. And, of course, Commissioner Flint Lane is going to go through the Golden Game picks here.
Thank you, Adam. Okay, the Portland Paddlers are leading the Texas Smash 10-5. You'll be starting with a 5-point edge in the Golden Game. Texas, since you're behind, you will be making the first pick. Who is your first player? Yohan Rebete is your number 1. Coach, your number 1. Tyrese Knight is your number 1 and your number 2.
Cole.
Cole is your number 2.
Kasahara.
Hiromitsu Kasahara is your number 2 and your number 3.
I go with Nandan Naresh.
Nandan Naresh is your number 3. Coach, you're 3.
Jiwei.
Jiwei Shah is your 3 and your 4.
Isaac.
Isaac Vila Ortiz is your 4. Coach?
I go with Lebaka.
Nishant Labaka is your 4, making Amy Wong your 5, making Rachel Sung your 5. Good luck, coaches.
So there's your order for the Golden Game. Not too many shift ups. Nandan Naresh will come up against Jiwei Shah. Coley comes up against Kasahara, and of course we have Amy Wong facing off against Rachel Sung. So the Portland Paddlers start with 5 points. That means there's going to be 3 points starting here. The players switch in multiples of 4, so 3 on the first, and then players will switch every 4 points. Following that, they play 1 game to 21, and it's worth 6 points overall. So
it looks like we're missing.
Umpire's gone to the
umpire. He's taking a little bit of a relieving break.
Well, you can see their team's leading 5-0, won 26-2, so almost 93%. That bodes well for Portland, but Texas could definitely add to that 2-side tally there.
Was Portland one of the teams that was leading 5-0? I think they might have been.
Evan!
Where is our statistician?
You know what?
And then a new player will come in for both sides.
This is about where I say I still don't know. I think they might have been.
If any of the teams might have been up 5-0, it would have either been Seattle.
Yeah, you're right. It was actually in week 2, and Portland were 9-6 going into the Golden Game. Texas won the Golden Game.
Oh, big point by Tyrese.
That was a 3-point lead, though.
And this is why I think Coach Lillerose put him in to do that shot making. Doesn't need to win 11 points. He just needs to win 3 out of these 4. And now a 7-0 lead for Portland.
So actually it was Portland who trailed 5-0 against Seattle in September and came back. And then the other one was Carolina being 5-0 down against Princeton. So no 5-0 comebacks for Texas yet. So they're going to have to write the history books here.
Well, this is a 7-1 right now, and got the 2 biggest hitters out on the table.
Ole just bracing himself after that backhand. The speed coming from Kasahara.
They need to check that ball for roundness. That was such a big bomb. But Kasahara stepped around.
It'll be 2 serving 7.
Kasahara taking both points on his serve.
Making their way back in. Coley now.
Sweep.
Strong. Keep your eyes.
Big things can happen.
Yeah, big change up in the order from Coach York Betsigayo. Will they pay dividends here? And Kasahara just plastering the backhand of Coley.
His backhand has been tremendous. Here in Everett, just jumping on every ball, especially the short balls.
Coley calls 1 point. Jiwei Shah and Nandan Naresh face off here.
This is going to be a great matchup here. Jiwei Shah keeping the ball on the table. Nandan's just been going for broke in his last match where he was swept by Coley. These are the biggest points here if Nandan can even up the score. Oh, Nandan just bottoms out on a 3rd ball attack with his backhand.
Let's see, he kind of had his weight a little bit more on the right leg.
Leto. 9-5.
And Nandan just showing that backhand off the bounce prowess.
Suddenly coming off the back of a match with Coley will help him here against Jiwei.
Wow, those are 3 big points. after Kazahara did 3 big points. It's a 6-2 run, and now we get a repeat.
Yeah. Which way are we going to go? Are we going to go cross division, or are we going to go
this
Seattle?
Momentum says Lebaka's got to go for some hits. And look at that. Body blow by Lebaka, sending Vila off the table.
I love watching Amy's reactions during the Golden Game. You can see that she's kind of aware of what position she could end up in. So she wants the team really badly to win those points, so she's not in a pressure situation.
And there goes the 5-point lead. Texas has brought it back to even. And Portland going for the timeout.
Remember, they only have one timeout.
Okay. Mejor saque, medio largo derecho.
During the Golden Game, just one timeout.
Él va a hacer saltar lento, luego pronto, ¿no? Es el mejor saque.
That's pretty crazy.
Si esa sirve,
Think about that.
otra vez.
9 of the last 11 points conspiracy.
I
think it's just incredible play in person.
Tú tienes ganas de okay? Come on, guys. Let's fight hard.
These are absolutely monstrous points for both teams. 6 points on the line. Texas can steal the win, 11-10, or Portland can blow this match up, 16-5. And a
ball misses the table.
Big serve by Vila.
10 serving 9, Isaac Vila with the second
Off the
serve.
side of the table. But now, back to back, and the ladies, the roommates, the doubles partners.
The women Warriors enter the arena. It's Amy Wong to serve to Rachel Sung at 10 points each.
Just a bit outside, Amy going for the smash, missing the table.
Rachel Sung is 23 and 30 in Golden Games. Amy Wong 32 and 20. So Amy Wong actually has one of the better records in the Golden Game, despite how nervous she always looks on the sideline.
Every point matters. 6 points for the team.
Rachel gets up over the table with the forehand flick.
It actually looked like, and the Texas players are asking, it looked like the umpire raised her hand
So it'll be 11 serving 13.
during the service like she was calling a let. I don't know if either the players saw it, but the Texas bench did see it. But now we're right back.
Rabate gets a second chance here at Tyrese Knight.
A 1-point game once again, 12-13.
Looks like Tyrese is ready to get that forehand into play.
There it is.
Big point. I could see him moving his shorts to give himself a little bit
Taking flight, 14-12.
more comfort, knowing that if you're going to step around, you're going to be going low on the stretch.
Oh, that clips the net and dribbles over.
That is a dribbler. And Portland jumping 3 points out. Knight with the serve.
Ball kick calling here.
Ball boy needs to.
Good speed to make up for lost time.
Oh, Rabate got that net ball back and kind of caught Tyrese off guard, but then just bats straight up off the table.
Portland, since the Rachel Sung, they've just completely changed the momentum. And now the two big hitters again.
Ole getting vocal out there.
What a change in pace, momentum, confidence
decisive play from both players. Cole opening the rally with a pretty formidable forehand flick. Kasahara just ripping the ball at the backhand from the backcourt.
How did he manage that last backhand attack from the backcourt? Swing and a miss to bring it within 4.
And Cole has the angle. Kasahara, he had an opportunity down the line there.
Just so much side spin from Cole. And now with the serve.
Just insane rallies between these two. Kasahara gets out of that forehand exchange.
The heart and soul of Portland, Ji-Wei Shah, has a 4-point lead, but Nandan Naresh.
This is where things started closing in last time.
Exactly. But the net balls have been falling on Portland's side, starting with Tyrese against Revite, and now Ji-Wei Shah. 2 points away.
Oh, and he misses. It's a costly point from Nandan Naresh. The bounce kind of threw him a little bit.
2 serves for Ji-Wei.
Oh, what a forehand counter. An absolute bullet from Nandan Naresh.
Ji-Wei made a great shot. Nandan just played even bigger.
And Ji-Wei won't have the honor of finishing it for the team. Nandan keeps the Texas smash alive, and Nishant Labaka is going to have to take all 4 here.
And we know what happens if all 4 go for Texas. It's going to be the lead.
On Amy and Rachel. And Isaac Vila gets the win for the Portland Paddlers. A pretty subdued response there from the team. 21-16 in the Golden Game. And the Portland Paddlers will win this opening match of Week 11, 16-5. And that is huge.
The sense of relief on Portland after going up. Now they're into the celebration with Rachel in the center. Not really getting much air on her jumps. But Portland back in the playoff race with a 16-5 victory over the very strong Texas Smash.
Golden Game is worth its weight in gold. This is only the first match for these two this weekend. They will both be back tomorrow for their Saturday showdown. Remember, every day this weekend, all 4 teams will play in different combinations. So don't forget you can
So the Portland Paddlers with an opening victory here. And at the beginning of our Everett, Washington weekend here. We're going to have a chat with, I'd imagine it will be a very delighted coach, Christian Lilierose. He'll be with us in just a moment. Certainly some ups and downs. And you look at the standings and it brings the Portland Paddlers are drawing things back up. 163 points at the top of the table with the Texas Smash. That makes things very interesting after just the first match. It'd be also really interesting to see what happens with the Bay Area and the Spinners. Just imagine if we ended with all the teams. I mean, that's not going to happen, but... All right, we're going to have a little post-victory soiree with Coach Christian here. Christian, congratulations. Must fill you with confidence to get a win and to start the weekend here.
Yes.
Yeah, if you go back through, I think the one moment that really stood out that probably had you on the edge of your seat was when that 5-0 lead in the Golden Game dissolved.
Oh,
what goes through your head there? I know a timeout came not too long after it. How do you get through that?
No, first of all, we have struggled with Texas a lot of times in the Golden Game. I remember, I think it was in the first weekend where we had 9-6. We're leading 3-0 at the Golden Game and losing the Golden Game. So we've been struggling with them in the Golden Game, and I saw the 5-0. This is the genius with the Golden Game. We're leading 10-5. We have 5-0 straight leading, but we're not safe at all.
Yeah.
And of course 9-all. I'm shaking in my boots, of course, and called the timeout. And everybody was telling me that I should take the timeout, but a 9-all the timeout, and we had a pretty good plan for Isaac playing against Nishan. So we pulled 2 serves that we know he had problems with, and we were able to get 2 points. So that kind of turned it around. But it was a lot of moments in that Golden Game that was a surprise. Curly had a lot of problems with Kasahara. Kasahara played really well. Yeah. And I was also surprised how Tyrese played well against Rebetes. He had last 2 games that he played, Rebetes kind of owned him. And now he played so much better in the Golden Game. So this also shows that what happens in a regular match and what happens in a Golden Game is not the same thing.
Definitely,
Like 4 points in 3 games is not the same thing.
Well, Christian, it also seems like the momentum from the last meeting in Portland has continued. I saw a couple of very key net balls in the Golden Game that I would be remiss not to mention, because I'm sure that the Texas Smash felt each one of those, especially starting with Tyrese getting back into the Golden Game with Johan. Any things that you did to increase those net balls on your side? Because it seems like your players had...
Absolutely. We pray to the net gods every day. We do our things.
But it definitely did look, as you passed 10, that the players did get a sense of more confidence. It was like a second win, that they were like, hey, come on, let's get this thing done. And then the sense of relief after the match was over.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was definitely there was a very tough win, and we were like 9-9, as like anything can happen. Another thing that was also surprised that how good Rachel did. Now, Rachel and Amy have played Golden Games in the past, and Amy just totally dominated. Now Rachel did really good. I think she got 3-1. That was a big surprise too. So it was a lot of shifts that I didn't expect. Like I thought I was a negative, I got a positive, and the vice versa. So it's like it's kind of that's the fascination with Golden Game. You never know what's going to happen. Kind of a box of chocolate or something like that.
Well, Christian, 16 points to 5. That brings you up to be tied for the top of the table right now.
Right.
Obviously, there's still 2 more matches left tomorrow and Sunday, but with any luck from your side, we'll see you back here in another post-match interview. Congratulations again.
I hope I can talk to you again. Thank you.
Some great run-throughs from Christian. It's always good to have that insight. At the end now, we're going to talk to the anchor of the team, Cole. Cole, congratulations again. Kind of become a recurring theme for you. You do well in the singles, you do well in the doubles, and then this time a little more challenging in the Golden Game.
Yeah.
What was it for you that you found more difficult playing against Kasahara in the Golden Game?
First, he have a really good serve, right? He have very strong serve, really spin, up spin, side spin, top spin, under spin. Everything really. So if you return a little bit late, then the ball is going more spin. So you have to always catch the first moment when the ball bounces on the table. But somehow, yeah, I don't think I'm not going to think I'm going to win the return. I just, yeah.
So Cole, not only are you a great player, but you're also a very strong coach. My question to you is, you're playing Nandan, and he's just playing some shots with his eyes closed. What do you do as a player to deal with somebody who's just making shot after shot? What is your mind when you're in that situation?
First, I think you really have to forget about how strong he hit the ball, because if you are really think so much about that, then disturb you. You get nervous, and then the situation even worse. So just let him play, win or lose, and then focus on your serve. Yeah, try to block, yeah.
And what do you think it's going to take from the team? I mean, obviously you all feel like you have a good chance to make the top 2. it's pretty tight here in the West Division. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on you to get your points. But aside from that, thinking about the team as a whole, what do you think needs to happen to get you guys over the line?
I think it's teamwork, right? It's everyone try the best, you know, get 1 point, not lose 3-0, and then point by point. This is very important, yeah.
Well, Kole, congratulations on another great performance and for really leading your team all these weeks that you've been here.
Thank you. Thank you.
A fantastic performance. You can take a look again at those West standings currently. Texas Smash and the Portland Paddlers tied up here, and the Portland Paddlers have somewhat tarnished the Texas Smash's singles record there. They were drawing 50-50, but Portland Paddlers move up a considerable amount there from being at the bottom of the table. Of course, the Bay Area Blasters and the Seattle Spinners will be playing in around about 35 minutes time. So a good chance for everyone to take a short break, but we'd be sure to be back here. I mean, these West Coast matches, they're going to be heated. Sean, what's your final take here on this this Portland and Texas match?
It just shows you the intensity and the drive. Portland back in the game. Texas, as Johan Rebate said, they've been facing some changes. Their coaches in here, they're doing everything they can. But I cannot wait for Seattle against Bay Area Blasters. That is going to be such an amazing matchup.
Yeah, and it really shows how the teams have surged. There's been surges and lulls. Which team is going to be surging this weekend? We'll find out soon enough. 35 minutes away, and it's going to be the Bay Area Blasters taking on the Seattle Spinners. We'll be back with you shortly.